Most of you are familiar with the phrase, expect the unexpected, and that would sum up this key section matchup in our latest edition of high school girls basketball. We've got the defending Class 3A state tournament champion, Benilde-St. Margaret's at 1-2, hosting the Robbinsdale Cooper Hawks. Robbinsdale Cooper at 1-1. They moved down to Class 3A this year, but were a competitive program 1 year ago. We don't know what will happen tonight, but we'll document every step of the way. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by Jodi Rehlander. And Jodi, the reason why we've talked about all this uncertainty has nothing to do with the team's competitive ability. Robbinsdale Cooper had a 20-win season. Benilde-St. Margaret's won it all last year. It has to do with injuries. Benilde-St. Margaret's, they've got to trudge through the month of December without their two big names, Olivia Olson and Kendall McGee. Kendall still recovering from her knee injury at state last year. Olivia broke her hand 4 minutes into the first game of the year. So this Red Knights team still figuring out what they have. What do you think they'll learn about themselves tonight?
Well, we talk about it all the time, Mike. How does a team recover from adversity? And this team has gotten more adversity than I think they even could have bargained for or predicted. So will the Red Knights be able to continue their streak? Will Cooper be an upset? Who knows? We'll find out.
A couple of players who can help Benilde-St. Margaret steady the ship are Zahara Bishop, who dropped 33 points in the win over Hill Murray. Pressley Watkins came over from Orono. Josie Najee is still around. The cupboard isn't bare for Benilde-St. Margaret, but Tim Ellefson, the head coach, said it does affect the rotations, and they can't play the bruising style of ball that they are able to with Olivia Olson, who can function as a post. He said expect a fast tempo tonight, and Benilde-St. Margaret's, they've got plenty of athletes who can do it.
Well, if it's anything like the JV game we just saw, the Red Knights are very capable of running away with it very early.
Robbinsdale Cooper, the underdog, if you go by metrics, they've been all over the place. They had a tough game with Orono, coming off a big win on Monday against Maranatha Christian Academy. Somah Kamara averaging 25 points through the first two games of the season. Nyema Montgomery is coming into her own. Just a couple of the big names, Zora Simmons another. It's a Cooper team that has some talent. They've been flying under the radar over the last several years. Even shorthanded, a win against Benilde-St. Margaret would be a huge step forward.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, watching their warm-ups, they're money from 15 feet in, so we'll see what happens.
Not to mention a win for Cooper would give them leverage when it comes time to seed the sections. Cooper and Benilde-St. Margaret's both in Section 6-3A. All of our questions will be answered when we return. You're watching high school girls basketball. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to the Haven Center at Benilde-St. Margaret's in St. Louis Park. I'm Mike, she's Jodi, and Jodi, I know it's a little strange. We were all coming in expecting to at least see Olivia Olson. Kendall, we're not sure if she'll play this season or not. It all depends on when she's cleared.
Yeah.
But I suspect you've been through your share of games or seasons with the Vixen and all the other teams you were a part of at Rushford Peterson, where you had to navigate injuries and the like. How does that impact the mindset for Benilde-St. Margaret's when their top player is not available?
Well, I guess the first answer is it really shouldn't, right? With a championship level basketball team, yeah, you have people who are very important to the mix and your culture, but if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, as it were, and that loss of that one egg makes you not the team you were, then you haven't prepared well enough.
When you brought up eggs, I'm thinking, ooh, I prefer them in omelets. But that is a much different set of circumstances. Well, to your point, when Benilde-St. Margaret's captured the Class 3A state title last year, they did it without Kendall McGee. She had her knee injury, basically destroyed it. ACL, MCL, it was a mess.
Ooh. The unhappy triad, they call that.
Benilde-St. Margaret's had to forge ahead without her in the championship against Stewartville, but Olivia Olson and Sierra Lumpkin shouldered the load, and the Red Knights captured their third state title in school history. Here are the starters. For Robbinsdale Cooper, it's Nyema Montgomery, Somah Kamara, Zoe Simmons, Amaya Rolford, and Jordan Cook. Benilde-St. Margaret's will start Sydney Fridley, Zahara Bishop, Pressley Watkins, Kate Kapsner, and Josie Najee. And again, Benilde-St. Margaret's, the cupboard far from bare. Plenty of athletes who can step in. And that win over Hill Murray, I think, indicated the extent of their talents. Hill Murray, not a slouch. They picked up Maya Wilson, and it wasn't just a squeaker. It was a convincing 71-54 victory.
These teams are very well matched on paper, so we'll find out.
And again, Cooper, 20-win team last year. A couple of those pieces graduated, but Robbinsdale Cooper, they won it all back in 2018, and they've been rebuilding over the last few years with new head coach Ebony Rich. We'll talk more about her as we make our way through. Right now, we've got Zahara Bishop. She dropped 33 against Hill Murray. She has a chance to drop 3 here to open this game.
And one on the first possession. Gotta love that start.
Zahara Bishop, something of a second banana, and I don't like to use that term a lot, but she's averaging 17.7. I don't like to use that because every person has a value on this team. They've got a role to play. But when you have Olivia and Kendall, it's easy to forget there are other playmakers out there.
Pushing up court.
Cooper turns it over. It's Bishop who picks it up. Bishop, again, after a quick set with Najee, and she draws a blocking foul. Back to the free throw line she goes.
Some aggressiveness for Cooper early. Some aggressiveness for Benilde-St. Margaret's early, really paying off. Twice to the line.
Bishop, again, 17.75 rebounds per game. I expect she's going to pick up the bulk of the offensive orchestrations. Right now she's struggling at the free throw line to start this one, but I expect she's going to be the point with Olivia still recovering from her broken hand.
Bishop converts the second.
So a slow start for Bishop at the free throw line, but Benilde-St. Margaret's does lead 3-0 over Cooper. Pass stolen up top. Fridley, too strong.
Too strong.
Dead ball rebound to Benilde-St. Margaret's. And Jodi, Cooper, they got to be careful. Benilde-St. Margaret's, like we said, they've got athletes. You can't make any sloppy passes up at the key. This is Watkins, again moving over from Orono. Picks up the ball again. Lost it. It's recovered by Jordan Cook.
Pressley Watkins, starting on varsity as just a 9th grader.
Kamara to the line. After drawing the foul, again, Kamara averaging 25 points per game through 2 games this season. Already an impressive start for the sophomore. And Jodi, you look at this Cooper team, Kamara, the lone senior this year, everyone else has at least another year. So they've got some pieces, and they have a coach with a strong pedigree in both club ball and high school ball, Ebony Rich. Played for Hopkins. Go ahead.
Well, that's how you do it. You build the pieces, and eventually the program becomes as strong as you need it to be.
A staggered start of sorts. It's 3-1.
Press breaker.
The floater comes up soft, short, you name it, it didn't go in. Montgomery for 3.
Good rebound.
That's Watkins. Watkins has a couple of years of varsity under her belt from Orono. And dropping a 3 from the corner is Sydney Fridley. Sydney got plenty of minutes last year as an 8th grader for this Red Knights team.
Clearly, you can't give her a free look. She's going to put that rock up whenever she gets a chance. Good hands as well.
Deflection by Fridley. Tim Ellefson, in his second year coaching Benilde-St. Margaret's, came over from Hutchinson and also has plenty of ties in the sport. Coaches the Minnesota Fury program. Currently tutoring the top 2025 team. As Montgomery, too strong on the take. Shot clock didn't reset, but Cooper gets a second chance, and Zoe Simmons makes the most of it.
I like it when teams aren't afraid to put it up from downtown.
That's where the game has migrated to, though, in recent years. Here comes Watkins. Foul on the rebound. It's on Cooper.
Good idea by Watkins to try to put that layup up, see what happened, and then this nice strong rebound gets to the foul.
Again, Watkins coming over from Orono, but Orono so far off to a strong start. They have a big win against Cooper, and then last night they ran away against Holy Angels. So this Orono team might be one to watch.
Nice one touch into the lane. Bishop
with the basketball equivalent of the one-timer. 8-4, Benilde-St. Margaret's over Cooper. Here comes Montgomery. Extra pass. Cook goes up. I noticed she mishandled it initially. That might have cost her a chance to go in. Watkins from 14.
Money.
10-4, Benilde-St. Margaret's looking pretty solid in the opening minutes. As we noted, Tim Ellefson in his second year, his AAU team includes the likes of Jordan Odie, the verbal to Michigan State, and Addie Mack, who is one of the top scorers in the state. And he fielded some pretty competitive teams at Hutchinson during his time there.
That's a school that's going to compete no matter what the sport is. Yeah.
He came over and he wasn't the one piece, but he was part of that retooling that got Benilde-St. Margaret's to the top. Olivia and Kendall have been together for a year, but Tim and Sierra Lumpkin, all the others that we spoke of, guided them to that finish line. Benilde-St. Margaret's went through some lean years between tournaments from 2010, the last time they won it, to 2023, but they got it, and they are favored to repeat in Class 3A. Of course, we'll find out what happens come March. There's Josie Najee, the younger sister of Maya Najee. And Zahara Bishop unable to hit the turnaround.
Yes.
Jodi, Cooper getting all they can handle right now. This Benilde-St. Margaret's team using that speed to their advantage.
The Red Knights definitely have speed, and they've got a little bit of more physicality right now, which is not something you often hear about basketball, but it's very clear so far in this game.
Well, again, Tim Ellefson said with Olivia Olson, they don't mind playing a physical style of ball because Olivia can dish it. Without her, they are speeding up the tempo. Rolford in a jam. Finds Kamara. Oh my goodness. How did she sneak it in there?
Elevate, decide in the air. Isn't that what Michael Jordan always said?
Long way to go, so Cooper's certainly not out of this yet. Here comes Fridley, open baseline for the taking.
Sometimes when you get that close to the basket, you can overshoot it, but she put on just the right amount of touch and put it through.
That's probably what I would do in that situation. I think I would have gone clear into...
Send it to the moon, yeah.
Yes, clear into Jordan or Zahara Bishop with the elbow J in transition.
Sadly from the hook.
Cooper trying to go outlet. This is Rolford.
Nice spin move.
Got it.
Nothing but net.
Wolford going on the spin cycle, extra rinse there. Cooper bringing the pressure. They get the steal. That's Kamia Jones, number 23. It will stay with Cooper. Timeout, Benilde-St. Margaret's 13:33 left in the first half.
The press is tough. The press is tough. Pressley had a free person across the half-court line, but that's a tough pass to see, and she went with this, what she thought was the safer angle and turned it over.
We highlighted Tim Ellefson in our last time out. Ebony Rich played her high school ball at Hopkins, won a state title in 2011, played Division II at Minnesota Crookston, and has been coaching for the last several years in AAU and was an assistant at Cooper. After the head coach stepped away to focus more time on his family, Ebony moved up, and she said it's a little busier now because you're the head coach, but she has plenty of experience, and it's really fun to see the Hopkins pipeline now. Herself, Nia Holly, players that were great athletes in their own right in their high school days, now mentoring the next generation.
It's actually the highest privilege to be able to give back to the game that gave you so much. I felt that in football, and some of these basketball coaches coming up through the high school ranks are seeing it too. It's great to see.
Ebony also has a toddler son, Taj Jr., if I remember correctly. And Ebony, there's another fun fact I'll share in a moment. Foul and free throws coming for Simmons. Nice fake, though, to get open.
It was.
And as you know, Jodi, it's always difficult to get a block from behind.
At least without skin.
Yes. So Simmons to the line gives me a chance to finish up my anecdote about Ebony. She claims to be the least interesting person in the world. I've tried to refute that several times. She isn't buying it. She said, that's going to stick with me for the test of time, through all time. I do think Ebony is more interesting than she gives herself credit for.
I was going to say, just by being a head coach of a varsity girls basketball program, you're instantly interesting.
Well, I brought her on my podcast a couple years ago, and she said, hold on, we've got a transition play for Benilde-St. Margaret.
Press breaker. Sometimes a backbreaker.
Fridley up to 7. Cooper says, right back at ya.
Right back.
Kamara again. 16-12. So I brought Ebony on the podcast, and she said, I'm not sure why you want me. I'm not that interesting. I do think most mild-mannered folks, those who understand what this is about, tend to shortchange themselves a bit because they don't see what they're doing as a means to elevate their own profile at the expense of others. Here's
Downtown.
a 3. Rebound for Cooper. That's number 12. Zahara Turner-Stensrud. Shot clock down
10.
to 7. Kamara sees it.
Oh, with a roller.
Holy roller, Batman.
Kamara's specialty appears to be that little roller.
Cooper again.
In transition.
Oh.
Yeah, double dribble, yep.
Wolford tangled herself up there.
So tough when you're in transition and you got bodies all around you to remember to keep that dribble going.
You never had to worry about that in your sport for 25 years. You can't double
true.
dribble, and you can't travel in football.
That's true.
You can get called for holding, though.
Or kicking when you're not supposed to.
That's true. Here's Watkins.
Nice little jumper.
She's up to 4. Jodi, I'm scared to think what this game would be like with Olivia. It's 18-14, and it feels like these two teams are just go, go, go.
Absolutely. This game is way more fast-paced than I think anyone expected it to be.
Kamara stripped, but it went off of Bishop. It will stay with Benilde-St. Margaret's. Cook to Jones. Here comes Jones. Tried to scoop it.
Too hard.
Dead ball rebound to Benilde-St. Margaret's. And a reminder, we do have the shot clock. It's in use statewide now, 35 seconds. It resets to 20 on an offensive rebound. And no more 5-second call on the dribble. They did retain it for held balls. Benilde-St. Margaret's, they're not going to wait though. They press again. Can't complete the break this time.
Had the right pass. Nice reach in by Sydney Fridley.
Jodi, you wonder the way these two are approaching defensively, if that's starting to rattle the others a bit because they're both in your face, bringing pressure all the time.
Oh, absolutely. When you are trying to play a pressure defense, it makes you think and it makes you have something extra in your head all the while you're trying to make a move.
Bishop sealing off Kamara there. So Cooper fans are wondering where's the foul, but I didn't see much of one, if any. Fridley, bullseye.
Sometimes a hard landing is just because of a hard shot, not necessarily a foul. That was a good no call, I thought.
21-14, Fridley up to 10. Kamara going back to the line for two.
So tough when you've got a player charging that hard to be able to be the defender and just set up at the right spot to get maybe a charge instead of that blocking foul.
Kamara, the lone senior on this Robbinsdale Cooper unit. Team that won state back in 2018 with Kiara Buford, who's now the NIL director at her alma mater, University of Minnesota. Free throw shooting.
A little hit or miss, literally.
Yeah, a little hit or miss. Did it take you all week to come up with that?
It did. I was practicing that. Yeah.
Because you want to know something? It would take me at least two.
I know when I come to broadcast with you, I got to be up on all my lines.
21-15, three ball. Not there for Najee. Getting the over and the putback.
Nice little roll.
Mira Wismer, number 14.
Coming in off the bench.
Another one of those key components last year. Again, this is not all Olivia and Kendall. Turner Stensrud. Montgomery. Three from Turner Stensrud offline. Rebound corralled by Cooper. Resets to 20.
Oh, good
nice
look,
backdoor.
good look.
Ooh.
Oh.
Cook couldn't finish.
Great look.
Those are looks you want to have. Najee to Kapsner. The runner not there. Dead ball rebound to Cooper.
Good look, good look. Just not enough juice on the ball to get it to the basket.
9:42 left in the first half. 23-15. Again, this game has section implications with Robbinsdale Cooper moving back to 6-3A.
8-point lead, Mike, but you get the feeling that Cooper could break it open at any time and go on a little run here.
It feels like both sides could do that. How about that block? I don't think you get shared credit in basketball,
right.
But if this were volleyball, that would have been the case.
Absolutely.
But I do feel like either side, Cooper could go on a run, Benilde-St. Margaret's, both teams are in that position where they could seize the day, so to speak. But they're deflected, so Cooper can retrieve.
Yeah.
Najee.
Oh, great move. Oh,
and Kamara
right
swipes
back.
it back. We're going to have some citations here, Jodi.
Dribble it like you stole it.
Montgomery's three, too strong. I know where I'm keeping my cookie jar tonight. Josie Najee to the line.
A very low fouling game for all of the physicality so far, however.
Najee averaging 9 points per game and 7 rebounds. Again, the younger sister of Maya was part of the Hopkins program until a couple years ago when she made the move to Benilde-St. Margaret's. And to your statement about the physicality and the foul calls, I don't think I've seen a whole lot that I would have called that hasn't been. The officials are giving them some space, and both sides aren't letting it get too out of hand. So Najee's on the board with those free throws. Benilde-St. Margaret's leads 25-15.
We'll see how we close out the first half if Cooper can put a dent in this lead.
Well, we still have a long way to go in this first half. And with the shot clock, momentum swings can turn on a dime, even more so than a year ago. Rolford got fouled.
Foul or travel? Foul.
Or travel. Well, we're going to talk about it. What do you think, Jodi?
I think it's going to be travel.
You think it's travel? I think I would get a floor burn after that.
That's true. Floor burns from basketball courts are much worse than football. I can tell you that. No call. Okay.
They couldn't determine, so
Yep.
it will be a do-over, basically, with 14 on the clock. Deflected again. Cooper retrieves it, but they only have 10 seconds on the clock. Do they spot it? They do.
Oh.
But Turner Stensrud misses the jumper. The fadeaway.
Oh,
Not
quite.
there.
Not quite.
Here comes Rolford. Both teams running into a bit of a lull.
Yep.
I feel like with Cooper, maybe they're playing a little too fast.
A little loose. They're a little loose.
A little too
Yep.
loose. To use a NASCAR term, maybe make a pit stop, tighten up the suspension a bit.
A little more gas, a little tire change, absolutely.
But again, 36 minutes is a long time. Here's Watkins, blocked. Kamara's got it on the run. It's her and Fridley. Here she comes. Got it.
Nice.
Like I said, a long way to go. And all night to get there. Just like the Stick song. This is Watkins. The skip to Bishop. Now Benilde-St. Margaret's. Bishop on the attack.
Good
Back door.
Good look.
Wismer with the bucket. That was a little no look if I
do
saw that
believe
correctly.
so. I do think you saw that no look. You looked at the no look.
I looked at the no look. In amazement, Cooper,
Trying to do the same. Nope.
and they weren't quite ready for it. To me, that seems to be the difference.
Right.
The poise right now favoring BSM. It's Bishop with the runner.
And now you're seeing how Benilde-St. Margaret's does have the ability to just control and be dominant and take the lead in a game and recover from any mistakes. It looked like the press was going to bother them a little bit more, but they've recovered, and honestly, they're pushing Cooper into some mental mistakes.
And the two losses Benilde-St. Margaret suffered came against Providence Academy. Remember, Olivia Olson was hurt with 4 minutes into the game, and Hopkins when both Olson and McGee were out. So really hard to gauge where they're at based on those circumstances.
Right.
And on the other side, you had to deal with Madden Greenway for Providence and Liv McGill at Hopkins. Here's a three for Bishop, short. Benilde-St. Margaret's can't secure it.
Well, and you got to believe that this early season adversity should help them down the stretch, because once they get those pieces back, it should just make them even better. So hopefully they can get through this early stretch with not a lot of losses.
Well, it will strengthen the bench for sure, but they're going to have a lot of experience on their side. Here's Montgomery looking for Wolford. Again, the passing for Cooper not quite there. Fridley.
Oh, a little too hot, a little too hot.
It was. Now Montgomery, I believe, or yes, Montgomery. No, Rolford. I can't tell with the long ponytails covering the numbers. Rolford did make contact, but the officials let that go.
I think that was more of a loose ball situation, and officials are far more lenient on the calls in that case.
That's good to know. 3 on the way. Turner Stensrud still looking for her stroke. Hasn't quite found it yet.
Interesting. I thought it had gone off of Montgomery out of bounds, but clearly the ref has a better shot than I do.
And we don't have video review. So what they say goes. 5:48 left in the first half. Benilde-St. Margaret's up 29-17.
Oh.
Short inbound pass. Montgomery fakes. Turner Stensrud.
That's a travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm a little surprised she passed that up. I wonder, maybe some of those early struggles are affecting the psyche a bit, but she was wide open.
Could be. I always say if you're open on a shot like that, you should take it. Absolutely.
Of course, we're not the one that has to run the sets.
This is true.
But typically, as I understand it, players will tell you, you are never more open, coaches the same thing, than when you first get the pass.
Yes.
So I was a little surprised Turner Stensrud passed up an open 3.
Oh.
Benilde-St. Margaret's going back door to a leaping Bishop. And Zahara, she has been on both ends of that trickery we've seen out of BSM. Montgomery used up the dribble. Passes it to Turner Stensrud. Here's Kamara.
Resetting the play.
Tried to bounce it over to Turner Stensrud, but too many red jerseys. Here's Bishop again. Now it's Wismer deking Montgomery, and she'll go to the line for 2. Jodi, you were mentioning that juncture. Benilde-St. Margaret's maybe taking that path to assert themselves here in this game.
I think so. I'm really impressed with Wismer off the bench. She's come in. She's been a physical spark. She's been trying to create. Missed that free throw, but she's definitely, like I said, a spark plug for this offense.
Averaging 6.7 a game, and you'll see a lot of numbers like that with this Benilde-St. Margaret's team. Cooper making a substitution, bringing in Kamia Jones. And for Robbinsdale Cooper, I go back to what I said a few minutes ago. If they can settle down, clean up some of the passing miscues, they could get themselves right back in this. Kamara thought it went off of Benilde-St. Margaret's, and she guessed incorrectly. But that happens.
It does.
Not unlike how I feel at Wheel of Fortune when I call a letter like an R or an E and it's not in the puzzle when I'm playing the game on my phone. Fresh 20 for the Red Knights. Wismer.
Oh, nice move. That's exactly what I was talking about. Wismer just creating.
Everyone getting in on the trickery here at Benilde-St. Margaret's. Montgomery got fouled before the take. Benilde-St. Margaret's did have 3 to give.
That's one place where catching the ball and quick movement for a dribble does help you when that defender is trailing you. It is very easy to get a blocking foul.
Might have been a chance for Montgomery to score, but we'll see what she can do here. And another foul. And you could see it from up here, Jodi.
Yep.
Wismer reached over the arm. And once again, it's fine if you get all ball, not if you get skin or compression. Is that what it is, a compression shirt?
Yes, yes.
3 on the way. Got it. Zoe Simmons with her second tray, and that was a much-needed bucket for Cooper.
Great look, great shot.
Benilde-St. Margaret's almost made lemonade out of lemons, but Kate Kapsner will get a chance to score at the line. Kapsner averaging 9 points per game. And Jodi, you look up and down this list here. Bishop 17.7, Watkins 11.3, Kapsner 9, Fridley 7.7, Josie Najee 9 points per game. This Benilde-St. Margaret's team, they've got a lot of pieces. that can make them go.
Well, and sometimes basketball is like Jenga with the injuries.
Jenga.
Right? Because, look, you pulled out some pretty structural pieces with your injuries, but you're still maintaining. And, yes, if you pull out even more pieces, you're going to fall over. But for now, they're pretty solid.
Robbinsdale Cooper calls timeouts. Don't worry, Jodi and I, we won't be breaking out a game of Jenga, at least not here. That'd be a fun halftime game, though.
It would.
That would be a way to fill it up. 3:55 to go. A few notes that we wanted to share on the Benilde-St. Margaret's team, including Capsner. She likes baking. And Olivia Olson, this is why everyone's looking forward to her return, considered one of the best closers, trusting the work she does outside of games and prepping for the big moments. Patterns her game after Maya Moore and LeBron James. Those are two excellent choices, if I say so myself.
I would agree.
Maya Moore will be inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame next year alongside a couple of her old Lynx teammates, and LeBron James is sure to make his way into the Hall of Fame whenever he retires.
And I will say, you mentioned off-court work, and I will say that kind of off-season and dedication to being better at the game off the court, I think that's probably the biggest difference and the best difference about how the game has grown over the years.
(35-20). Robbinsdale Cooper was hanging with Benilde-St. Margaret's, trying to eke their way back into the picture. Kamara bumped again.
Blocking foul.
Last to give for Benilde-St. Margaret's.
Just a little too strong as the dribbler tried to get the baseline.
They'll give you a little leeway, but usually you can spot the difference.
You can't disrupt the path of the dribbler.
That's how you can disrupt a play.
That is correct. Went to that well one too many times.
Watkins will go to the line. Again, Watkins coming over from Orono.
That shot was too strong as soon as it left her hand, but she did get pushed.
And that might have had an influence there.
Potentially.
Her favorite hobby is tubing, wake surfing, and being on the water.
That makes sense.
Just starting high school, so she hasn't decided on other sports outside of basketball, but given that interest, I think she should consider joining the swim team. Or maybe there's a water skiing club sport out there.
Polo, water polo.
Water polo, there you go. Has a little bit of that basketball flavor.
Yep.
Three ball, corner pocket.
Oh!
And Simmons, from our vantage point, didn't have a whole lot of space. Bishop slicing through. Oh my goodness. A steal by Fridley off the inbound. It's Watkins up and in.
And in. Wow. Wow.
Just when it looked like Cooper had a momentum play. Kamara on the take. Scramble, and that's a foul. I didn't see one on the prior play.
No. Some of the crowd would disagree with you, but I do think
that's all right.
That's,
that's okay. I don't have any skin in the game myself.
Right.
So here's Turner Stensrud, who's trying to get on the board. 41-22 our score. I believe they gave Simmons a 2 on that last play.
Yes.
So she has 10. I thought it was a 3. It was still a tough shot. But Robbinsdale Cooper trailing, Benilde-St. Margaret's thriving.
Benilde-St. Margaret in spread offense.
That opened the door for Bishop. Najee can't save it. This is Jones down at the corner. Turner Stensrud backing away. Cooper will reset. Jones again, sees a hole.
Foul.
Yeah,
Foul.
Bishop got her.
Yep.
And that's tough if you're a Red Knights fan because it looked like you had the block, and then Bishop made a little bit of contact on the trailing end of that play.
Yeah. It's so hard when you're moving in for a block. It's one of the finesse things about basketball. And if there is any question, I think you're probably going to get the foul versus the block.
That's the third foul on Pressley Watkins. Now, Benilde-St. Margaret's is up considerably here, so it's not a huge bother yet, but it is something to keep an eye on. And
Pressley's going to sit for
probably
the remainder of the half.
You're not going to risk a fourth foul,
right.
But I'm going to have to check the scores table at halftime because I don't see an 11 on the roster. I can tell you that Kamia Jones makes both free throws. It's 41-24. Fridley, a transition three, graces the front iron. Simmons, that's for two.
That's for two.
Offensive rebound. Here comes Kamara again. Disrupted on that play. And this time, Wismer completes the fast break play. She's got 8 off the bench.
Transition baskets will kill you. They will.
Kamara really trying to make something happen now. 1:26 left. And
I appreciate Kamara's physicality, right? Like her willingness to throw herself into a basket. But I wonder if Cooper wouldn't be better served right now by trying to be a little bit more within themselves. But maybe that's not their style, right? This is the first time I've really seen them play.
And I haven't seen them play in some time because the last several years they were in the same section as Hopkins and Wyzetta, so you knew off the bat they probably weren't going to be in the conversation. But I feel Kamara maybe upping the urgency a little too much.
Right.
Here's Montgomery with a step ahead of the competition. That's her first field goal.
Nice little lay-in.
Cooper bringing that press again.
Very close to a half-court violation.
A turnover nonetheless.
Oh.
Turner Stensrud has really had a rough go of it in the first half.
Sometimes you just think a little bit too much about what you're going to do next.
Press breaker and contact.
And a foul.
So Wismer, our baking enthusiast, will try to cook up a couple more points at the line. She didn't specify what recipes she likes to bake. I've turned into an air fryer fan myself for my baking needs.
Yes. They're very good at pizza rolls, those air fryers. Less chance of explodiness.
Faster and less heat wasted, if you ask me. Wismer makes the front end. And Yakub will go back in for the Red Knights. We may have a number 11 again. We'll check at halftime because we're getting close to the break. I'm going to wait before I put a name in there. There is one listed on the 9th grade team, but we'll see. But Wismer up to 10. Benilde-St. Margaret's 11 of 13 from the free throw line. Less than a minute to go. Here's Kamara again. Through traffic.
That's the shot she's been trying to make for most of the night.
She might have the play of the game based on degree of difficulty. Double dribble call. Benilde-St. Margaret's was trying to get it across before the 10-second clock or the 10-second count, and it burned them. So Cooper could hold for the last shot if they choose.
Nice inbounds.
Turner Stensrud lost control of it. And the Benilde-St. Margaret's players feel a little differently than the officials do about who last touched it. But you get that. That's going to happen during games.
Absolutely. Oh, good
nice move underneath.
Good move.
Jordan Cook shaking off her coverage. Benilde-St. Margaret's will get time for one more, but a good momentum build nonetheless for the Hawks. 10 seconds. They got to get it across. 5. Fridley hounded, and that's a tough break. And Cooper going for the high-risk play. With that little time left, Jodi, it's a little tougher to swallow because you're just trying to run out the clock.
It is. Now, granted, Benilde-St. Margaret's been pretty terrible at the free throw line so far tonight.
Well, I've got him at 11 of 13.
Really? They just look bad, I guess.
They've got time. Good if it goes.
Oh.
Well, they nearly made lemonade out of lemons there.
They sure did.
But they do have a 45-30 lead at halftime. They go to 11 of 14. Jodi 45-30, and the ruggedness of Benilde-St. Margaret's is evident in that first half.
Absolutely. When you have the poise that you earn by going deep into the postseason and get up against the best of the best repeatedly, it shows, and Benilde-St. Margaret is just better right now than Cooper.
We'll find out who comes up clutch in the second half. You're watching high school girls basketball. BSM leads Cooper 45-30. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Mike Peden and Jodi Rehlander with you at the Haben Center, Benilde-St. Margaret's in St. Louis Park, where the Red Knights lead the Robbinsdale Cooper Hawks 45-30. Looking at the first half numbers, Zahara Bishop with 12 points to lead Benilde-St. Margaret's. Wismer with 10 off the bench. Fridley with 10. For Cooper, Kamara's got 12, and Zoe Simmons has 10. Everyone else struggling to find their footing. I think if some of those other role players can step up the production, that would give Cooper an entryway back into this game.
Agreed. I think they need to find a way to, as you say, to get more people involved. Also, to take a step back, take a breath, and convert on some high percentage shots versus kind of throwing the ball up at the hoop, which seems what they're doing most of the time right now.
A rare Wednesday night game. Wednesday typically not a popular game night in terms of number of games. And as we get ready to start the second half, we'll see what the two sides have in mind.
As we get started, I will say I was impressed by the footwork and the defense on both sides in the first half.
Here's Montgomery. Defensively, that was a big factor working in favor of Benilde-St. Margaret's. Cooper had some moments of their own as they get the offensive rebound here. The scrappiness, the agility is there for Cooper. It's the consistency that has eluded them.
Nice.
But that could help. Rolford with the kiss off the glass. That's what you got to be careful for, and Kamara having a word with the official about that call.
It's so hard in the heat of the moment when you get called for that foul and you're just, I'm just trying, ref, and yeah.
On the other end, Benilde-St. Margaret's ready in transition.
Transition baskets.
I think Cooper
They're a killer.
maybe a little caught up in the moment. Here's Cook.
See the baseline, but there's Bishop.
These two keep trading blows defensively. That's the second time we've seen
Nice.
a back and forth, and Jordan Cook gets the Blinko bounce, but a couple of times now, Jodi, we've seen both sides exchange steals. Watkins for three. Short.
Good rebound. Good rebound.
Wismer tipped it. Now she'll fire the three. Short again. Rebound got right back
Two
to her.
offensive rebounds for Benilde-St. Margaret.
Long shots typically mean long caroms. Now remember, the shot clock goes to 20 on O boards. You hear the countdown now, 5 to shoot. Bishop with a fake. Moves inside, not that time. Double dribble on Montgomery.
This is the most double dribble calls I've seen in quite a while.
And again, because these two are playing at such a quick pace, it almost feels like they're constantly speeding each other up. And Cooper still trying to figure themselves out. Benilde-St. Margaret's learning a lot about themselves as well. Bishop finds a wide open Kapsner
absolutely.
for three.
Corner three for 33.
And the bench turned into bowling pins for a moment.
I don't know if Cook wasn't looking for the ball or the pass did look pretty hot. But a turnover either way.
And this is where Cooper could get themselves into a pickle here, jam.
Yeah. And you see that the calls on the court are definitely getting into the head of Cooper, and that's something that they can't afford to let happen. That is the third foul for
Wolford, who's got 4 points. Kapsner again. Bullseye. And there goes the bench again.
It's a cute little thing.
I'm guessing they worked on that during the offseason.
You might think.
It's Benilde-St. Margaret's ball. Wismer, not enough of a push off there to warrant a foul. By the way, number 11 for Benilde-St. Margaret's is Bella Stevenson-Shimmick. Normally wears 12.
Bishop pushing it. Might.
Another three.
Oh.
And Benilde-St. Margaret's blowing this one open with the perimeter stroke. 56-34, timeout Cooper. Ridley up to 15 points.
And showing versatility with a different three-pointer celebration on that last one. But you're right, Mike. This game could become a very large margin very quickly if Benilde-St. Margaret's keeps draining those threes.
When you shoot well, you look good, as the saying goes. Now I'm wondering, I haven't taken a peek if Olivia and Kendall are taking part in that bench celebration or if they're trying to save themselves. Again, Olivia, recovering from a broken hand, showed us her surgery scar. And by us, I mean myself and Ebony Rich. There's an extended camaraderie here in the basketball community. It doesn't look pretty. There's a reason why they tape it up. But again, Olivia will be all right. They put in a couple of plates, 12 screws, I think. And she'll be ready to go. January 4th is the target date for her return when they play Jordan.
Wrist injuries are tricky, but they're all young, so.
So Robbinsdale Cooper trying to work their way back in this.
Oh, that would do it. Nice long distance. by Camilla Jones.
With her first triple. Watkins ends it off. 15-footer, swish. Kapsner with 10. Steal, and the finish by Bishop.
Wow. Bishop is having herself a game.
14 points, it feels like she's got more. Free throws coming for Zoe Simmons. Jodi, I think that is one of the big differences. Benilde-St. Margaret's with that double whammy. They get a quick score, catch Cooper falling asleep, and then kapow.
Yeah. One of the truths in every sport is you can't score without the ball or the puck or whatever it is that you need to score with. And Benilde-St. Margaret has just done such a better job of taking care of it, even though we've seen a lot of back and forth. In the end, Benilde-St. Margaret has had the rebounds, the possessions, everything they needed.
15-footer, short this time. Cooper ball. Robbinsdale Cooper, located in New Hope, Minnesota. Their gym is a little bit of a maze to get to, but what Kiara Buford did to give that team that had virtually no history in the sport was impeccable, and they're trying to recapture that. Kamara, too strong.
Here comes Bishop.
Zips ahead of her coverage for another fast break bucket.
It's hard to appreciate how tough it is to get that kiss off the glass when you're running full speed, but Bishop has done it regularly tonight.
Bishop, the junior, plays on those top Fury AAU teams. What a great play for Fridley. And she was set up by Bishop.
Ball movement and people movement, so critical in this game, and Benilde-St. Margaret doing it really well.
Backdoor, trickery, you name it. Kamara again, having a rough go of it.
Yeah, I saw that.
The frustrations mounting for Kamara, and she's teed up. Remember, technicals count as personals. So 2 free throws here for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Just the second on Kamara, but she had a great start in the first half, has had a rough go of it.
And Ebony Rich will have a chat with her player, but you could see from very early on that Kamara was struggling with the way this game was being called, in her opinion, and sometimes our emotions get the better of us.
Kamara will check out for now. And Watkins will set up for a split. She's got 9. We've seen a lot of high-flying action, bodies going everywhere, some physicality. That last play for Kamara, I didn't see anything that would have been a foul, but
she after the call, she was not shy about voicing her opinion to the ref, and that's what spawned the technical.
That's what led to the tech, right?
Here we go.
Steal for Turner Stensrud.
Oh.
Like we said, this is a physical outing. And that can test your patience. I know you've been there, Jodi, many times when you've delivered hits and when you maybe got the receiving end of a couple of stiff arms.
The key is you just get back up, get back in the game, and do everything like you've been taught.
Next play, you'll hear that phrase a lot from coaches. Turner Stensrud at the line. Has yet to get on the board. And still at a goose egg.
The best weapons you can have as an athlete are a big work ethic and a short memory.
Benilde-St. Margaret's looking to build up their score. Bishop lost the dribble. Turner Stensrud, she does have a few steals to her credit. And here is Montgomery over to Rolford. Stops, pops, can't get the bounce.
Lid on the basket right now. Good look. That was a good look.
Watkins.
Thinks about it.
I was going to say, she's thinking about it. I haven't seen her go out that far. We've got a foul. I know more athletes can line them up from deep. Madden Greenway at the high school ranks does that.
And Watkins, just a freshman. You got to admire that chutzpah.
Did you say chutzpah?
I did say chutzpah.
Chutzpah. So it's a silent C.
Yes.
You may be the first broadcaster I've ever worked with who has used the word chutzpah. Or chutzpah, however you call it. Swagger, gusto. Zahara Bishop, no shortage of any of that. I don't know if that was by design. It felt like that. Watkins missing.
I'm
and
not
Bishop
sure.
ready for the putback.
I'm not sure if they'll score that as an assist, but
I don't think so.
right.
Kamara's back in the game for Cooper. She'll fire the three.
In and out.
The Benilde-St. Margaret's running away with this one.
Transition baskets again. Wismer is making money just standing there in transition. I tell you, is that the third that's happened for her?
Bishop picks up another dime. Kamara just sliced through Bishop like she was butter. I think Zahara was waiting for a charge perhaps, and Kamara saw enough space to slither her way underneath.
Well, again, that's that short memory. Come back and make a play. Don't let an emotional situation get the best of your play. So very impressive for Kamara.
10:59 to go, and remember, this is still in the early stages of the season. So what we see today may not be what we see come February, March when the section matchups occur. Kapsner, the runner, too strong, got her own miss. Can't put it back. A sea of white. Here comes Kamara. Lost the handle. And Bishop all by herself. She's got 20.
Yep.
Benilde-St. Margaret's all over this Cooper team.
And Zahara Bishop, a junior, doing pretty much everything she needs to with the missing her compatriots and more.
Ridley.
Oh, some trickeration.
See you later, she says. It was 45-30 at the half. Benilde-St. Margaret's leads by a lot more than that. Turning this into their personal playground, it seems, with 10:15 to go in the second.
I do want to appreciate that last play for Benilde-St. Margaret. That was set up for the entire game so far because all they've been doing is standing there with the ball and pass it. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? But it's always been passed. Now this last time, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? But she kept it, turned around, and had the layup underneath.
We have a stoppage in play. It involves Jordan Cook, and she was really struggling to get back to the bench. I'm trying to see what the situation might be. I think
Looks like a facial thing, maybe?
it looks like she did take a hit to the face. And she was wincing quite a bit. So she'll be checked out by the trainer. Kamara lost it again. Wanted to get to Turner Stensrud, couldn't find her. Bishop. The skip. Three from the corner.
Oh,
Wismer with the putback. Benilde-St. Margaret's getting what they want at will. Wismer rises up for the rejection.
Fast break.
Fredley,
And
count
the
it.
hoop. And the hoop.
And Benilde-St. Margaret's, they're going to get out of here with a section win. Maybe not a surprise.
I don't know that anyone thought it would be this big of a margin, but I do think Cooper was the underdog tonight.
Well, Benilde-St. Margaret's, again, they've got a lot. For 3A, having Olson and McGee would make a world of difference, of course. As Fridley competes the three-point play, she's got 22. But everyone getting in on the action for Benilde-St. Margaret's tonight, Jodi. Fridley, by the way, blew past her previous season high, which was 9.
Nice.
Remember, of course, we've only played a few games, and they're going to start the Mercy Rule clock early.
Is it?
It's 9 minutes, but I think we're close enough, and given the nature of the game,
Is it a point differential?
It's 35 or more by the 9-minute mark, but considering where we're at in the game, I don't think anyone's going to be a stickler for
a couple
following
of seconds.
rules to the letter.
Yeah.
Robbinsdale Cooper, it felt like they had their moments, but the second half, they just struggled to get anything going.
Yep.
Kamara in particular having a really difficult time.
Well, you love to see emotion in the game, like I said, but I think Cooper let it get the best of them and take it out of what they were trying to do.
Rolford.
Strong rebound. That's a
go
foul.
back to the line.
Is that 4 for Wismer?
I believe so. Academic as far as the outcome is concerned. It's her third.
Third, yeah.
So Cooper, they'll have to regroup, and Benilde-St. Margaret's, they get a section win. Again, they beat Hill Murray, so I think in 3A they can hold their own. We'll find out with De La Salle and Alexandria awaiting them what that's going to be like. Against the high-level teams, they've struggled a bit. Cooper getting another O-board. 3 on the way. Off the back iron. Bishop with the rebound.
That's a double dribble. Yep. I think she thought that the Cooper player had touched it enough, but no. She had control of it the whole time. Bishop did.
And that, to me, is a glimpse of what Cooper can be if they can lock in defensively. I think we needed a little more consistency in the offensive side out of Cooper for them to contend.
Yes.
But they'll get a few chances. Robbinsdale Cooper moving to the Tri-Metro, so they get to play De La Salle twice.
Those are always good games.
They'll play Holy Angels. Holy Angels figuring themselves out, too. De La Salle going to be the top team in that group. They host Matamidi later in the month. That's not a pushover. They go on the road to play Eastridge, a team that's also renovating. And for Benilde-St. Margaret's, I think these last several games, as Watkins hits the turnaround shot, they tell me they can hold their own in 3A. Remember, they won it all without Kendall McGee last year in the finals. Here's a step-back 3. Unable to bank it in is Rolford. And you think about all the players that have come through here. As we have a catch-and-shoot 3 collected by Wismer.
Another offensive map.
Caps her to the line for 2. The first time they won state, they were led by Kasheen Alexander, who had a tremendous career at Iowa. When they won it in 2010, they had Olivia Olson, or Olivia Antilla. There are a lot of great Olivias to come through Benilde-St. Margaret's. Olivia Olson was part of last year's team, and some were comparing her to Paige Beckers. I think she brings something a little different, more of that rebounding presence that Paige maybe doesn't have. But in between, it's not like you had pushovers. As Capster makes both free throws. Olivia Antilla was a great player. finished out at Osseo. And Azaria Jackson-Sherrod, she got over 1,000 points. It now works as an official. Lots of talent to come through the Haben Center. And I can't wait to see what the future holds. There's Kamara.
There's Kamara. And you can see the flashes of brilliance in Kamara's game, right? You can see how she wants to drive and another foul as Watkins drives to the basket. But you can see how she could take over a game and create. Just didn't get the chance tonight.
But she will have plenty more chances to do so.
Long season, yep.
And for Benilde-St. Margaret's, we talked about the tough December that awaits them. Beyond that, you get Jordan, a team that won 24 games last year and looking pretty solid this year. They have yet to drop a game.
Wismer heads to the bench. Very solid effort as a sixth man tonight.
14 points for her. Conference-wise, Chaska could be the biggest thorn for Benilde-St. Margaret's. They picked up where they left off. And the next game for Benilde-St. Margaret's, 2 days from now, Eden Prairie. We were here for the meeting last year. EP was able to outlast Benilde-St. Margaret's in a close one. And the Eagles, they know how to build athletes. So free throws for Kamara. So it's not as if Benilde-St. Margaret's has a front-loaded schedule and everything is going to be cupcakes after that. They'll have, again, the timing for the injury stinks because a lot of their tough games are in December.
Right.
But they've got a couple of opportunities after that. And for Cooper, again, they graduated a couple of players who were responsible for that 20-win season. They played Benilde-St. Margaret's tough a year ago. This Cooper team did. But it's a reminder of what happens with graduations and trying to build that personnel. It's a little easier when you're at a school like Hopkins the last several years that had high-level prospects ready to go.
Right.
It's a different story at places like Cooper where, again, until their state title 5 years ago, they had no history. A team that really struggled to make a name for themselves. So we're going to finish out with some of the bench players. And everyone erupting. Ashley Scram traverses the lane, the baseline for two.
And I just love how Benilde-St. Margaret's bench erupted. It's late in the game. The win is all but assured, but you're still cheering for everybody on the court.
They're almost the sentimental darlings, those deep reserves.
Yes.
I saw that yesterday in the Matamidi Providence game, a game that was won handily by Providence. These are the athletes. They go to the practices. They take up all the drills. They know they may not see a whole lot of time, but they stay with it. Here's a three.
Not quite. Oh.
So they may not get the glory, but there's always an exuberance when they can come in and make a couple of shots. And Kamara will be done for the night. 17 points. I do think brighter times are ahead for her this season.
Absolutely. And one of my coaches once told me, I made a joke about being a scrub, and he said, there's no such thing as scrubs, there's only starters in waiting. So that's how I think of it.
It's a good point because Olivia Olson, this is her senior year, so after that, she'll be done. Now, she's the one primary senior, so much like Cooper, Benilde-St. Margaret's will have a lot coming back. I know it's early to say that, but someone's got to step in for Olivia, and they're getting an early taste of that here. And Tim Ellison would tell you, I think anyone would rather have Olivia out there on the floor. But as we talked about earlier, this will give Benilde-St. Margaret's a lot of background knowledge that could be useful later on.
For sure.
And a huge difference. I think Benilde-St. Margaret's really mash that accelerator to start the second half. I think that was the turning point of this one.
Absolutely. The back and forth we saw where you had 2 and 3 consecutive buckets multiple times, that was really the nail in the coffin.
Collecting that rebound is Princess Nyarko of Cooper as time winds down. Montgomery will try to get open for one more. And that's a final 84-44. Benilde-St. Margaret's picks up a key section win, and I think they pick up a key statement win on how they operate. They followed up a big win with Hill Murray with another one against Cooper. So in the 3A ranks, this Benilde-St. Margaret's team still has plenty of firepower in their arsenal.
Lots to learn for both teams, though, Mike. I mean, Cooper, although on the losing end, sees the moments of brilliance that are possible, and Benilde-St. Margaret's gets to see that they are fine without a couple of key pieces and work through that adversity.
We'll try to get a word with some of the Benilde-St. Margaret's players before we call it a night. This is high school girls basketball. Benilde-St. Margaret's wins 84-44 over Cooper. Joining me are Zahara Bishop and Sydney Fridley, our pair of 20-point scorers in Benilde-St. Margaret's runaway win over Robbinsdale Cooper. Zahara, you were doing a little bit of everything. I don't know if you've been studying Olivia's game the last couple of years, but we saw you go inside. We saw you pull off a little trickery. I think the only thing you couldn't do tonight was dunk, but given your talents, that may not be long before you get there. Were you feeling it tonight, or when did you get that sense that you could get the upper hand against Cooper?
I just feel like since both of our main players are out, I just needed to pick it up for myself and for the team. So doing as much as I can for the team and passing it, make good passes, and scoring for myself for the team would just make us have confidence for defense and offense.
What do you think you've learned about yourselves over these last few games, having Olivia go out 4 minutes into your first game and having to soldier ahead without 2 key components?
I can pass it well. I make good passes, and as I'm like more I keep doing it, I think I can create better shots for my team.
Make good passes would be an understatement tonight. I feel that's where Benilde-St. Margaret's really flourished, especially to start the second half. The defense was locked in. You were scoring quickly. Your coach was saying this is a faster team without Olivia. How do you think all of that contributed to that big second half effort?
It was good. I just feel like if we go a little too fast, we can get like out of hand. So going fast is good, but we just need to like control it.
And Sydney, you were the beneficiary of some nifty, sensational passes from Zahara and others tonight. Outside of a couple of bumps, it seemed like whatever Benilde-St. Margaret's wanted to do, they found a way to do it. What do you think was the key to getting so many opportunities?
I really think we underestimated ourselves, like when Liv got hurt. And since she's gone now, I feel like everyone on our team has just stepped up, and we've really been able to trust everyone.
And like Zahara, what have you learned about yourself, and what do you think this team has learned about themselves having to go through like this? I don't think anyone would want to see Olivia and Kendall on the bench, but you're getting an opportunity to learn a lot about yourselves with all of these key games.
Yeah, I feel like we learned that we can step up too. It's been Olivia a lot of the time, and since she's been out, we've just learned more about each other and like every one of our players and how each other play, and we've just learned to like become more of a team.
And that was evident tonight because it wasn't just you two, Wismer and Kapsner, and it seemed like anyone was ready to answer the call. How does that help put the two of you at ease when you know you're shorthanded, but you have teammates and yourselves included that have the confidence, the swagger to take over and step in when necessary?
Sid, you go.
What was the question?
Well, what do you think has given this team a lot of confidence where anyone can chip in like we saw tonight?
Yeah, I feel like, again, I don't think we've had a lot of confidence when we're like, oh, Liv broke her hand and stuff. But now I feel like this game we learned a lot about each other and about ourselves that we all can step up to, and like we all can make good passes and we all can score, and it will help everyone on our team.
Zahara, now you've had some time to think about it. How would you answer?
Like she said, I think we can all do like all positions. We're all good. We're not looking for like bigs and like guards. We all can step up and do like the same thing. So when it's time for like other teammates to do their thing, we put their trust in them and they can score too.
And before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
No.
I'm good.
All right, well, our apologies, Benilde-St. Margaret's fans. You'll have to wait until next time. But I think there's plenty of support nonetheless for Zahara, Sydney, and everyone. I know you can't wait to get Olivia back. I think January is the target date, and hopefully Kendall can rejoin you. But I think we picked up a lot tonight that you two can take forward as the season continues, and enjoy the win, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zahara Bishop and Sydney Fridley, and that will wrap up our coverage here from the Haven Center at Benilde-St. Margaret's. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thank you for watching.